Who has worked with you for the, as they say, verisimilitude, the realism, to make sure it looks like you also look like a ball player, not an actor here?
Well, that was really important for MLB. They just stressed how authentic
They
we
said
had
it.
to look.
Major League
Absolutely.
Baseball said this.
Absolutely. They said we have to stress, if we're going to put our name on a show, we have to stress that the actors have to look like they can play. If they can't play, we're going to get doubles. So us actors, we've sort of challenged ourselves to not use our doubles. So right off the bat, we were working with Greg Olson. She had to. She was in training a lot sooner than we were because
The relief pitcher, Greg Olson.
relief pitcher Greg Olson from the Orioles, all-star guy.
Sure.
So he worked with Kylie on her pitching mechanics. Then he worked with Mo and myself. Mo plays the outfielder. And just working on our mechanics. And then I got to work with Chad Kruger quite a bit. And I got to work with Royce Clayton.
Royce Clayton?
Royce Clayton was my batting coach.
Oh, so he's working on your swing.
Works on swing.
And Chad Crowder's working on your catching.
Yep. And then Greg is working on...
Did you ever play catcher at any even in Little League or anything?
I never played catcher. Never played catcher. I have such a respect for these guys now. I wish I had played catcher because I think it's the most exciting position in baseball.
Well, your knees would be different now, Mark.
You know what? Another guy that I've talked to is AJ Przinsky. And AJ, and I was asking him some physical questions. We actually talked more about the mental aspect of the game, but I had asked him, I said, do your knees, because he's a 39-year-old catcher, and sort of like David Ross, I said, are your knees killing you now? And he goes, no, I fall into the category of the hip issue. And that's where I kind of fall into as well. My knees are great, but my hips get a little tight from catching, so I have to do a lot more exercises to kind of loosen them up.
So what have you learned about being a major leaguer that you didn't know going in from talking to these folks?
A lot of pain involved in playing that position. I mean, you're constantly getting beat up from your hands to your legs to taking foul balls to just putting your body in the way of a ball, and then you're touching the ball every play. They count the pitches of a pitcher. Right. They don't ever count how many times the catcher has.
Yeah, there's no catch count.
There's no catch count, and so their arms, and then they play the next day. So it's a very physical position. I love it. I think it's a the man's position.
Mark Paul.
But now we're talking about a woman pitcher, so we can't really call it a man's.
I guess so, and so I'm sure you get that all the time as Mark Paul Gosselaar, the catcher and captain of the San Diego Padres on Fox's new MLB sanctioned show, Pitch, coming up in a couple of Thursdays on Fox right here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you must get that all the time. Is how realistic do you think this really is, that there's a female pitcher that's out there that could make the bigs?
From what I've seen, I mean, 2 years ago when I saw the tape of Monet Davis, I said, well, and by the way, this show is not based on her story or what would happen if she continued. This story was out there already, the script. I don't see why not. I don't think there should be a boundary just based on gender. I think there should be a boundary based on talent and ability, but not on gender.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.